Welcome to another episode of Ghetto Antiques Roadshow in the middle of the night with your host Deanna because I can't sleep. And so we're going to open up another eBay item, which I can give you a hint what it is. Can you guess, boys and girls, what it may be? All right. So this I paid $35 for. The seller had to buy it now for $35, and I snatched it up because that's actually a good price. All right. Let's hope it's in good shape, actually. I didn't see it in person, so we will see it now. And why? Why must you tape things? Oh my God, it's even more beautiful than I ever thought it could be. This is actually even way better than the eBay seller's picture showed. Holy cow, is this gorgeous. And what is it? It's an antique coin purse. I go wild for some reason over antique coin purses, especially Victorian ones or earlier. And this is a Tam O'Shanter. And as if you notice, a lot of my videos contain Tam O'Shanter purses that I find on eBay and Etsy and Mercari and as many different websites as I can actually find them on. And these come in all different shapes, all different designs, pretty much actually the same size. Mostly all of them are around actually the same exact size. And if you didn't watch any of my videos before about these type of purses and you're a newbie, hello, by the way, these are called Tam O'Shanters because they actually look like a tam hat, which is a Scottish or Irish type of hat. They were actually mostly crocheted, and you can see these beautiful beads. Most of them are beaded, and I will show you these are steel cut beads, really quite lovely. And wow, look at this. It has like a daisy on it. Now this one was patented in, let's check it out. It should have a patent date. 19 dickety-doo. Actually, it says Bostonia on it. And let's zoom in. 1903. Now, does that mean that this purse was made in 1903? The answer is no. And why is that? Because things can be patented and the patent can last for quite a long time. And so this could have actually been made up until about, probably I'm going to guess about like 1915, maybe just slightly a little later. But for the most part, these were generally made from about 1890. And some of them are patented with the 1890 date. Let's try to just get in there closer. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, some of them are dated with a patent of 1890, and the latest patent I've ever seen on one of these was 1903. After that, I haven't seen any more patents for these purses after 1903. Don't know why. The history of these are a little dodgy. Now, most of these are American. I've never actually seen a European Tam O'Shanter. This was probably, even though it's a European term, an American idea. And so let's check out all the other ones. By the way, here's a different kind of coin purse. This one being Victorian, made out of a fake ivory or celluloid. And this is a drawstring or a string purse. Really quite lovely with tassels. And this one I restored. It was filthy dirty. And I made it nice and clean. All right, so let's check out the others. And there's plenty. Now, he who dies with the most Tam O'Shanter purses in their collection wins. Well, not really. But here we go. We got a vast number. Now, this one just came, I believe it was last week. Maybe a little earlier than last week. Maybe I'm guessing wrong. Perhaps, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And this one is a really cool design. Now, if you notice, they all basically have different designs, but the same premise, beaded on the bottom, except for some of them actually came, let me try to find that example, with leather. So this one is a Niagara Falls souvenir one. And why is my camera all pixelated? It's because it's crap. There we go. This one says Niagara Falls on it. It has like a buckskin type of leather. And yeah, so they weren't always beaded, which is quite interesting. For the most part, though, 99% of them you'll find it will have a crochet material. And all right, so this is my latest one. I believe this to be Anne of Cleve or Cleves. One of, I think it was it King Henry? Which king was it that lopped all his wives' heads off and he just had wife after wife after wife and then beheaded them? You can write in the comments below. But it's probably either Queen Catherine of England or Anne of Cleves. I could be incorrect. But but like a rendition of her. And so like we got a noble woman over here. Now we have our daisy pattern one we just got. Now at one point, these were what I can only describe as untouchable. And when I say untouchable, they were very, very, very unaffordable. I couldn't find these for less than 100 to actually the cheapest I can find them for was about $100, but they were generally selling in the $150 to $200 price range, and I could never afford to add one to my collection. As of late, mostly people just actually like to see these in antique shops. They'll pick them up, they'll look at them, and they'll touch the beads. They just want to feel the beads, and that's it. They don't want to pay the money for them. So the prices are going down. So they're trending downwards. That doesn't mean that these are valueless. But for the most part, they will actually climb again when probably maybe some of the millennial collectors, if there are any out there, because I don't know of too many millennials that like antiques anymore, maybe they'll start to bring the prices back up on these purses again, hopefully one day soon, because I can leave my kids an inheritance. And so basically the most common ones you'll find are these ones with the coins on the top. So you'll see various different types of almost Greek coins, and with various different type of beadings. And were these purchased in stores, you might ask? The answer is no. These were generally handmade. So for example, the Bostonia company, now some of them are marked Bostonia, like this one here. The Bostonia company only sold the frames, the metal frames, which were generally made out of nickel or German silver, which is not real silver, or actual pewter and what have you. Like this one will have a pewter top. The rest is German silver. But these were generally actually crafts. And so they would sell the frames separately, and a lady would knit them with a pattern. So there would be a pattern for the actual purse that would, it would have came with the purse top, and it would explain in the description of the directions or the pattern what they needed to actually make the purse. So it would say like X amount of yarn, X amount of beads, and it actually give them step-by-step directions to make a certain pattern out of the beads, which is quite cool. Sometimes a lady would have to buy all these extra pieces separately. Sometimes it would actually come with the frame and the directions. So here we go. We got navy blue here with a star pattern. This is probably the most common pattern you'll see on the bottom of these purses here. Here's another in tan, again with that same type of pattern, which is almost like a flower or a star pattern. Here's another one, again similar. So as you can tell, these were most likely a pattern that had that particular star pattern. Some of them will not have a pattern and will be just completely beaded, just like that, which I love. And others will have more colorful beads. Instead of the steel cut beads like you see here, you'll see more glass beads or some type of, I think Czechoslovakian type of beads that were made out of glass in different colors and really quite lively looking. And, the colors of lilac, greens, burgundies, red, blue, you name it, they had it. Okay, so we have Art Nouveau type of ladies. Those are actually the most sought after. People always look for these Art Nouveau type of ladies. And Art Nouveau generally depicted ladies with naturalistic scenes and nature. Here's another Art Nouveau style one. And you see this angel kissing an Art Nouveau type of lady. I think the ocean is surrounding them. And that one is actually quite sought after for collectors. So this is probably my most expensive one here because of the different type of pattern and beads, which you don't generally see this pattern very often. And this one, that one is really highly prized. And also the Anne of Cleves or the Noble Woman, that one is highly prized. Now the least valuable of all of them would probably be the coin ones because they're so common and so easy to find. So as you can see here, we have so many of them. And actually this is a coin version that's rare. And we have actually a depiction of Marie Antoinette. Don't know if you could see that with her powdered wig. And some of you might say, oh, these are reproductions. I did a video of this one and along with like a couple of other ones. And somebody thought it was a reproduction. And I'll tell you why they may look like a reproduction. Look how shiny that is. That's me. That's me. Actually, they come like this, like blackened. Black is the ace of spades, like this one. And what I do is I take Simmerchrone, and I know I shouldn't because it's the natural patina that shows its age, and then I shine them up. And so somebody, once thought that these were repos, but again, it's definitely not a repo. We got the patent inside the stamp, if I can find it. I know it was on the edge. Here we go. And it's patented, and it has the date somewhere along here somewhere. But then again, it can look like it's a repro because they're so clean. You shouldn't really do what I did. You want to leave the original patina, give it that age that, it earned after all those years. All right, so here's another actual unusual one. If you look at all of them, they're round, right? So you see this round design, but this particular one is oval. And you don't see too many oval ones, so that one is really quite cool. Let's look at some of the patterns on the bottom. Again, we have that crazy star pattern. This one with brown knit or crochet. Now, another rare color to find is white. You generally never find white because most women didn't actually like white ones because they get dirty easy. So that one is a rare color to find. Generally, too, I always look for ones in red. Burgundy or red, and it's very hard to find the burgundy ones. Those ones generally sell for more. For some reason, people like burgundy colored ones. Let's see what other colors we got. Of course, probably the most common would probably be black. You do find black a lot in these. This is quite lovely. Then tan. Generally, you'll find a lot of them in this tan color. Navy blue is not as common. And this is a really lovely, actually royal blue. Yeah, I'm going to go with that's probably royal blue. Followed by, if you see the beads in like a goldish color, this one actually looks gold, but you can see the tan crochet underneath it. But also the steel cut beads, I forgot to mention, are American steel cut beads. Europeans started to make these steel cut beads in probably like the early 1800s, but their peak, like the most, when they really started getting popular, were in the 1840s in Europe. Then Americans started to make steel cut beads, but Americans made inferior steel cut beads. So a lot of times the goal is to find these purses without rust on the bottom. A lot of times you'll see like they rust out very easy. It looks like they're rusty, and I thought they were rusting, but actually that's the crochet color that's underneath it. Thank God. A lot of times you'll find these all rusted out, and the rust will eat away at the knit. So if that happens, it's pretty much a goner. So you shouldn't collect ones that have rusty beads. So these are actually really cool. Really excited that I was able to share these with you. Again, the prices are trending down, but that doesn't mean that people don't battle over them. When they do show up on eBay, people go sometimes in bid wars for these, but they still are not generally hitting the $100 to $250 mark that they once did. But if I was to list these in my Etsy shop, and trust me, it wouldn't sell for 2 to 3 years because I'm a greedy bastard, and there's no way in hell I'm going to let these go for cheap. I wouldn't sell any of these for less than $150 a pop. That's not to say that people would say, screw you. I'm going to just find them on eBay for under $50, which generally it's hard to find for under $50 on eBay unless you get lucky like I do. As you can see, this is how many times I got lucky. And I'm going to tell you 95% of these purses I got for under $30 by being lucky, by not having the seller who is selling them know what the hell these are. A lot of people just think these are 1960s hippie purses, and you get away with finding what I call sleepers and getting them for cheap. But then again, at a higher end shop, these would sell for between $100 to $250, depending on the subject matter, if it's rare, the color, the shape of the beads, and the design of the beads, if they're really rare, the pattern. And I'm going to show you something else really fast. This video is getting way too long, but some people are trying to perpetrate frauds, and I'll show you. Be careful when buying these. So also one of the most sought after ones of these Tam O' Shanter type of purses would be the Native American Indian guy. And sadly, a lot of sellers are saying that these were actual Iroquois beads, and they're selling them for $500 to $600 to $700. So you got to be really careful. So somebody was on the Antiquers message board asking about this. And for example, this person's purse was dated 1903. And somebody said, it doesn't look very 1903. Got a picture of the marks. Now, what's funny is on these antique forums, it's a place for people that collect antiques. A lot of people say that looks like it's a reproduction. And immediately they're all experts. Everybody here is an expert. And I'm not saying I am. So she wrote, it doesn't look very 1903. Got a picture of marks. I don't know why I read that and sneer. But this person, actually, I had went on that forum once, and she was telling me a lot of my stuff didn't look, old. She said, oh, your stuff doesn't look like, 1890s. That looks like a newer reproduction. This lady's a pain in the ass. Sorry. And so the person proved them wrong. I love it when someone proves them wrong. But somebody did some digging and found some information. And here we go. They found a seller selling one of these Bostonia purses, which are American, not Native American. And this is their description. Rare and difficult to find Native American beaded coin purse with an image of an Indian chief in full regalia with a headdress and frontal Indian decoration, manufactured by Bostonia. Embossed on the underside of the lid and dated December 1503, we can presume the company was in Boston and therefore American made. The Indians were commissioned to do the beadwork and forwarded their handicraft to Bostonia to complete the silver-plated embossed Indian design. These purses are very unique. The beadwork is similar to that of the tribes in the Great Lakes region in America at the turn of the century. And this person I love. This person was always great when I used to go on this forum. Wrote, I do not validate any of this to be the truth. And he's being sarcastic. So what's going on now in the collector's world with these tam o'shanters is when one person puts a lie out, other people see that lie, and so they might be a flipper or a reseller. They'll find this at an estate sale, do some Googling, type, and then they'll see this guy's listing saying it was made by Native Americans, and suddenly all these tam o'shanter purses become Native American beaded purses and are sold for big bucks. And yet, here's another one being sold on First Dibs for $800. Being called one of those Native American beaded coin purses, which is total bullshit. And that same person, who is really a great detective, brought that up here on the forum. But wait, there's more. And so someone said, Como, you are on fire. That person is on fire because he is very, very good at finding out, bullshit. And yeah, very interesting. Actually, it's even worse than I thought, folks. It's being sold on First Fibs being sold for $975. Wow, that is perpetuating a fraud big time. And how do I know? Let me show you. And my research starts with, here we go. Here's a pattern from the company Bostonia that mostly made these tam o'shanter purses I showed you. By the way, if you look really closely, it says, I don't know if you can see that. Wait, hold on. You can't really see it. I'll show you actually in a moment. Let me just pull it up. There we go. HAA and Company. And I did some research, and this company was in Attleboro, Massachusetts. So that's probably why they called it Bostonia. And this is a pattern for a purse top. So let's check it out. And so let's zoom back out. There we go. So this is a purse top pattern. So they didn't only make the round, tam o'shanter style. They sold these purse tops as well with these little, I forgot what you call it, kiss locks. And here we go. Warranted German silver. Very interesting. And here is the pattern. Bostonia neck chain purse. Materials required. So it would tell people what they needed. And basically, you just bought the purse top and they would give you directions on how to make it. Native Americans never beaded these purses or made these purses. So it's all bullshit. So if you want to go on First Fibs and pay $975, I suggest you don't. So sadly, there are only 15 of these Tam O'Shanter purses in my collection. It looks like a great deal over here, but I'm sure there's a lot of you who are watching this video that have a lot more than me, and ones that have much rarer subject matter. Now, the Native American one, I'm going to try to get into my collection, but not paying 975 doll hairs for it. I bet eventually it will show up on eBay, and I'll get it for under 50 bucks, hopefully. All right, guys, I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun. Hope I didn't bore the tits off of you. And I'll see you guys all soon. So long.